let's try. Your father is no more. So it's very fake. Yeah.
So let's just kick this off like we did last time. Just tell me who you guys are and what you guys do.
All right, so we're Vile Monarch, studio from Warsaw, Poland, and we are making video games. So far, we made two. First one was Oser, and another one was Crusher Enemies. So this time we're doing another take on Oser, and it's called Oser: The Insult Simulator.
Your mother doesn't own a colour telly and is deceased.
Ugh. You pose nude for your math teacher.
The first question I like to lead off with always is just like, tell me what the game is. I have my idea about it, but I want to hear what you guys, like, what is Oser?
So as the title says, it's the insult simulator. So in this game, you are building insults to crush your opponent's honor this time. Not his body, but his honor. And this works a bit like in a fighting game. There are two characters. They had some kind of fight at the beginning of each level, and then the player takes control. And in turns, the characters are creating their own insults from the bits that appear on the screen.
You can also see this game as educational game where you can learn English. And really, I was showcasing the game at Gamescom just a few days ago. There were a lot of French and Spanish-speaking guys asking if there will be their language version. So no.
Sorry,
but yeah.
You need to learn English.
Yeah, exactly. We can sell it to the Spanish educational system.
Nice. So essentially you're making a way to learn English, but the bad way to learn English. You're trying to learn people.
You're learning the most useful phrases that exist, basically. Like,
Cool.
Your father looks like an English pig dog. And you know it's true.
It's so important. You cannot live without it.
I saw an insult, something about like getting undressed in front of your math teacher or something. I was like, look at that. But now that I'm thinking back, very educational. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Why make an insult simulator? Like, where did the idea come from to make a game where you're, simulating verbal attacks?
Because we're tired of physical violence. We need to take a break from blood and severed limbs and so on. Maybe in the next game, but here let's try some more softcore take on violence. But seriously, the inception of the game comes from a game jam that we attended a year ago. A team from Vile Monarch, where the topic was this parrot is no more. It even happens that I have.
Is it dead?
Oh,
It's interesting. So this was the topic. This parrot is no more. Of course, it's a reference to Monty Python. So we wanted to take it further, not just the parrot, but take the atmosphere, the kind of humor that's present in Monty Python sketches. And from a heavily liquored brainstorming session came an idea of a game that looks like a fighting game but uses insults as attacks, and it really worked well. We even got some awards on this game jam, and then we published the game on Steam. And this was it. Suddenly it turned out that it was popular and people are having fun with it, and naturally we just couldn't
Resist.
Yeah, we couldn't resist. We are making a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the questions. Was like, you know, I knew that it was from a game jam, but I didn't know that whole story. But yes, thanks for letting me know.
And you know all the discussion about violence in the games. So this is our brick to the discussion that game could be positive, not
Right.
only with
Well,
blood and all the stuff, you know.
Yeah,
People don't like.
having to hurt other people physically.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like when you mentioned fighting games. That was my first thought. It's like the layout is very fighting game, where it has like the health bars and it has like that sort of thing, and the characters are on each side and you see them in like the space, and there's like an arena, quote unquote. But it's cool that I like that you sort of took it further, and like you have that. The only thing that's physical is like that weird punching hand thing that like moves over. That's really it. It just goes back and forth.
Yeah, it's making those punching animations when you're speaking.
Yeah.
So it's a metaphor.
So,
Yeah, this is
yeah.
very
Exactly.
advanced technique, you know.
Right. So when I'm insulting people, I should think of a weird fist just flying over their head,
Yeah, exactly.
punching their health bar.
The
Right.
points. Boop.
Okay, so the free version that you put on Steam, I looked it up. It's got a great reception on Steam. It looks like it's got like awesome reviews, and it's just like overwhelmingly positive. So basically, when did you decide to go from like a free game to then decide to make the full version and like expand on it? Like, when did that happen? Right, was it right away? Was it like you had some time to think about it?
I think the idea was very quickly after we released the game on Steam and saw that it's popular, but we didn't have time to fully invest to it because we were busy with Crash Arenas. So a few months later we set up another team that started working on this remake, and now currently it's our main project.
What has changed from like the free version that you made at the game jam to now the full version? Like, are there a lot of changes, or is it just more stuff? Like, what's the big changes?
We have a lot of new content. We have new characters. We have new scenes. We have a lot of more words to choose from. We have online multiplayer, which previous version lacked. And this multiplayer is cross-platform, so I can play on a tablet, I can play on a PC, and I can still insult you.
Nice.
And the mechanics of the game are deeper than before. We have some mechanics like combos, like weakness of characters that you can use if you know them. And yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's it.
Basically that's it. So it's like 10 times the size of the previous game, and I think 10 times the depth, because the previous game was a little joke for 15 minutes or an hour at most. But here I think it's still not a big game. Let's not pretend that it's different. But I think you can invest some time into it. You can master it. You can compete in it. So it works like a real game, not just a little joke.
Right.
Yeah, but I think still the best way to play it is on the couch with
Yeah,
your
of
friends.
course. On a party, drinking some tea, of course.
Right. Only tea, right. Yeah, it seems like it's definitely ripe for just getting people together who maybe don't even play games at all, right? Like, you don't have to necessarily be a really, really skilled person at games. You just sit down and play it and have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. We really enjoyed watching those YouTube videos, like I'm insulting my girlfriend in this game, or my friend, or whoever. And it was really fun to watch, because usually one of those people knew the game and the other not so much. So
Yeah.
the reactions were pretty surprising.
Yeah, and the sad thing is she left him afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice. So a weird question, but the original version, who did the? So I'm like listening to the voiceovers, and like I like the voices of the new ones, but in the original ones, was that just you guys recording your own voices as the insults with like accents?
Yeah, it was myself, I was pretending I have a British accent. Let's try. Your father is no more. So it's very fake. Yeah. My colleague Greg, who's not present here, he was doing the other accent, more his accent, and it's much funnier. This time we're using professional British actors.
Nice, yeah. I heard the original, like, I was watching some footage and I was like, oh my gosh, that's definitely them, just trying to act British.
Yeah, it was recorded during the game jam. It was, I think, 12 in the midnight, and we were doing that in the kitchen using something like, I don't know, $5 microphone.
Yeah, just whatever you had available.
Greg sounds rather Russian English than British English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even try.
Nice.
Your overcraft has tiny feet. This was his take on the character.
Tavarish.
When I see you guys, I'll have to like make you say it in person and record it or something. It's so funny. Okay, cool. So the other thing that you mentioned that I think is important is it is a crossplay game. This is now your second. Both games that you guys have made have both been crossplay.
Yes.
Is that like an important decision for you guys that you're like? It seems like it is, right? So can you talk more about that?
Yeah, it worked great for Crusher Enemies because on every platform we basically had the same game, so we could make cross-platform multiplayer. So as a result, whenever you want to play multiplayer, there will be players there. Sometimes you have to wait for, I don't know, 15 minutes, but usually there are players. Not necessarily from your platform, but maybe they downloaded the free version on iOS or on Android, and they can play with you like on the same terms. So we want to do the same thing with OSER.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we'll talk about Crush Your Enemies after I have a bunch of questions. Not a bunch, but a couple questions about that. But I think it's cool that in a sort of like market where people are saying, oh no, we're only on this or we're only on that because of like limitations, you guys are like, no, all of our games crossplay, it's fine. We're doing it. We don't care. It's awesome.
We're trying to do that. I think we'll try to do that with all of our games, but let's see.
Yeah, it also helps that the concepts like play on a tablet or play on a on a phone or something, like even that idea that from inception the game can work on that platform rather than like trying to force it to work or something.
Yes.
It's good design, you know.
Yeah, I'm giving you a little props. Cool. I think so. The one last question I have about, not the last question, but one of the questions I have about OSER is like, can you give me a favorite insult that you really like some good ones that we should look forward to?
Oh, there's one character that's an old guy, and he's really out of touch with modern world, and he uses Shakespeare quotes as insults. So there's something like "you tottering full-born hedge pig." That's one of my favorite. I don't even know what it means.
No one knows. It's fine. It's insulting.
I think my favorite one is like kind of absurd. It's like, your father is your mother.
Yeah.
Like they don't make any sense, and you're just yeah, the nonsensical statement that you're just like, wait, what? How's that even insulting at all?
Your
Nice.
born actor is full of eels.
Yeah, so sometimes you can make a sentence which is not really an insult, it's rather nice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you still get points.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works.
Because it's just for the absurdness of those
Yeah,
phrases.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. The game lives with its own life, really.
Right. Everyone can sort of arrange their own words together, so you have no idea what the combinations will come out to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, and with this version of the game, we tweaked the grammar rules a bit, so now there's a lot more combinations, not just coming from different bits that we entered there, but also from changes in the grammar.
Is there any other planned content besides what's coming in the original release? Like, are you guys thinking about anything down the road or anything like that?
Of course, we wish to continue working on this game, but it all depends on how it's on its reception, basically.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be cool if it's received well to then have like new characters or new bunches of words to sort of throw in there. That could be interesting.
Yeah, we wish to do that.
Yeah, we're thinking about mod support for players, to add new characters maybe, or voiceovers by themselves.
Right.
But as Kasper said, it depends on the reception of the game.
Well, last time we talked about Crush Your Enemies and that coming out and being excited about that happening. How has that been going for you guys? Are you really stoked about it? Like, what's up? I haven't talked with you in a while.
Yeah, so the game is already there on every platform according to the plan. It's doing okay. We are still working on it. We just released, we're like in the middle of releasing a new update. It's already on Google Play, and in upcoming days it's gonna be on iOS and Steam as well. But it's still not our last word. We're still working on new updates, new levels, new mechanics. This last update is all about multiplayer, so it has statistics for the multiplayer. It has local multiplayer modes, which is, in my opinion, pretty exciting because
Yeah, that's
it's
awesome.
like a party mode. It's even called a party mode in the game. And there's also a skirmish mode where you can play multiplayer levels with AI.
It's cool. I feel like you guys specifically offer like a lot of value for just like the game itself is beefy, right? But then you're giving people like way more features to like enjoy it in different ways, and I feel like that's really cool that you didn't just throw the game out there. It's like, oh, you know what? Now we're gonna do local and do this, and like there's a lot of ways to enjoy it and not just play through it. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's great.
Thanks.
So the next question is, you guys released 2 games in one summer, basically, right? You're releasing 2 games in the matter of like a couple months. It seems like you're very busy. How's that been? Are you continuing to release more? Are you excited about more stuff? Or are you just focusing on these? And like, what's it been like to sort of have your own studio and put stuff out as you want to put it out?
It is busy indeed, especially for the heads of the studio. I gotta admit that, because the rest are mostly separate teams that are working on their own stuff. Like OSR has 2 guys, including this gentleman here, are focusing mostly on this project. Crush Your Enemies has guys that are focusing mostly on Crush Your Enemies. And so in this situation, myself and my friend Greg, we have the worst part, taking care of all the projects. It's
Right.
very exciting. This is the way that lets us make more games. Basically, this is what we wanted to do.
Right.
Kasper is basically sleeping in the studio.
Oh, you are sleeping here today.
Only today.
Yeah, I could imagine. I feel like it's such a short timeline, and there's so many things happening that you just sort of have to be there all the time or a lot.
This is how it works. But this is this kind of in that industry that we love.
It's also cool. I mean, last time we talked, we were talking about how you used to work for a sort of bigger studio, and now you left to do your own thing. And it probably feels really good to now do your own thing and to be able to own it and work as hard as you want and like put stuff out. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah.
I have 2 last questions. One, Morgan is really into metal as well, and she was like, "Man, have the guys gone to Wacken Open Air? Is that how you say it? It's like a big metal festival in Germany that's like outside."
Yes, Germans call it Wacken. And
Wacken, right? Sorry.
Greg was there. He actually goes there every year from, I don't know, 5 years back.
Mhm.
I hope we go there the next year.
Yeah, she was mentioning that like, oh, they definitely go to it because it's just like the biggest metal thing out there, and they would definitely enjoy it if they don't know about it.
There's also plenty of interesting shows in Poland. Yesterday we were on Mastodon.
Oh, nice.
here in Warsaw. So yeah.
How are you awake right now? How are you doing after the show? I feel like I would be completely out of commission. After
We're not headbanging anymore. Precisely for being, present the next day.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so the sort of last question is, are there any other games that you guys are playing right now that you want to tell people about that you think are really cool? Just stuff like that. Like, is there anything that you're playing that you played recently that you would suggest to other people that's like an indie in the indie space?
Indie space. It's hard. I'm mostly playing Wii U lately.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can talk about anything that you're playing. It doesn't matter.
Really?
Really, lately I don't have the time to.
He doesn't like video games.
No, it's sad because being in industry, I should play, but I really don't have the time for it.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad, I have to say.
Yeah, it's called messed up work-life balance. So you're making more games than you're playing.
Yeah.
But honestly, the game I played lately, like the last week, was Stanley Parable. It's not a newest game. It's like 3 years, but I try to keep up, and it really blew my mind how you can use a video game as a medium to describe the medium itself. It's like a meta game. The whole game is a meta game about video games. This is how I interpreted it.
And the game I enjoyed at Gamescom, it was in our publisher's booth, Ambitious. It was Run Gun, Jump Gun. It's a little arcade game, but it's really well designed, and I really enjoyed playing it just for a while.
And today we're playing Team Fortress 2 in the studio.
Oh, nice. Do you guys are you like streaming it, or are you just playing internally, like you guys?
Just playing for fun with beer and stuff. We do it rarely, but there are opportunities like today.
What stuff? Beer and stuff.
Beer
And stuff.
We have some
Pizza.
vodka.
Some eggs. Okay.
Just for the beginning.
Nice. Yeah, that's I haven't played Stanley Parable, but I've heard it's really incredible, and I definitely should, because I do like that idea of like subverting the medium in order to like tell some weird story about it. I feel like I mention this game all the time, but there's these guys that I know that made the Magic Circle, and it's like a game like that where you're playing as the character who is now designing the game and trying to escape it or something and like go through it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's everything I got. So give us the rundown on like what the status is for the game. Like, do you know when it's coming out? Give me I know we talked about platforms, but just give me the full rundown of like what's up with the game going forward.
Alright, so platforms is Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS since the beginning. And when are we finishing it? How are the things?
I hope soon.
This is a
soon.
good moment to talk about it.
I won't say the date because afterwards he'll be asking me, why isn't it finished?
Yeah. Totally full bore.
Oh, this just turned to a meeting now, and I should just leave so you guys can talk about. Nice. So it says summer, right?
Yeah, basically in 1 month, 1 month.
Month or two, something like this.
All right, I think I got everything. I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out. I'm sure we'll talk soon. I'll see you at PAX.
Your husband will always be alone and dances like a muppet, and the Hell's Granny's gang smells of a lumberjack.